This is the Simpli Sisters Podcast. Girl, get in here, settle down, settle in, take up space and breathe. Come in this safe space where we believe in the power of sisterhood. We encourage truth and dialogue that promotes peace, clarity, and freedom. Join us here for conversations for the soul, because there is so much to talk about.
Hello, and welcome to this episode of Simpli Sisters Podcast. I'm Simply Tammy.
I'm Coach Gayl Benson.
And today we have our special guest, our boss lady, Miss LaToya Frazier.
The CEO partner.
The CEO partner. She is the head of Frazier Business Solutions.
Frazier Business Solutions.
And she is who keeps us going. And without her, we wouldn't be where we are today.
We would not be.
And we
pay y'all later. Saying that.
But today we're talking about breaking barriers and women who have pivoted careers and who left corporate jobs or traditional jobs to follow their passions. And that's why today we brought her aboard so she can talk about it, because she did it. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you all for having me. Yes. It's great to be in front of the scenes as opposed to just behind the scenes, but I'm happy to do either. So thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you for all you do. You know, LaToya, it is just so inspiring. And I wish that you all just kind of had some of the exposure that we've had, just understanding who you are, your journey, and how you just took hold of the narrative and started driving your narrative forward and basically just kind of took control of your life and leaned into that shift to knowing that, okay, this is my time. This is your season, and you broke through that barrier. So just helping women understand, like, what does that feel like and where the drive came from to push you forward to do that?
Okay, thank you. Where it came from, I don't know. Just to go back, I would use the term serial entrepreneur, even at a young age. Mm-hmm. So I've always had some type of side hustle, although I've always had a corporate job as well. And it just got to a point in my career where I felt like, well, you know what? I think I could probably do this full time. What does that look like? And for those of you that don't know me, my background is in project management and consulting. And I was in the corporate space for over 20 years in the learning and development space. The beginning of my career started where I was doing corporate training for a great organization. And then I moved from the front end of the learning and development department to the back end, where I started developing and managing the curriculums that were being developed.
Wow.
And like I said, I've always kind of been a serial entrepreneur, always had a side hustle. So I was always doing something on the side. Mm-hmm. And it just got to the point to where I was with my last employer for about 15 years.
Wow.
17 years.
Okay.
That's long.
All right.
That's
don't cut
good.
it short now. Don't cut it short.
And it got to the point to where I say that the career fed my family, but it no longer fed my soul. And it was at a point where we were going through a lot of organizational changes, like a lot of companies have been doing lately, especially since COVID. And it just got to the point to where I think one year I had like 4 managers, just because, and I applaud them for doing a lot of the restructuring as opposed to letting a lot of people go.
Right.
Okay.
So, as part of the restructure, I was moved to different departments to help build these departments up. But then they would restructure again, and I moved somewhere else. And I was like, you know what? They can get somebody else to do it, because this is no longer for me.
Okay.
And like I said, it was a great job, a great career. I met a lot of my wonderful friends there, and still friends with them today. Some of them are clients. And it got to the point to where I said, you know what? I can't keep complaining about it. So what am I going to do about it? So what am I going to do about it? So long story short, took a look at, my life, my career, what I wanted to do, and kind of how I had been side hustling on the side for a while. How can I make this full time? How can I make money on it?
Right.
And it's not for everybody. So I don't always encourage people, well, yeah, you can quit your 9 to 5. A lot of people don't want to quit their 9 to 5. They like their 9 to 5. And they also like making money on the side. You can. I didn't want to do both. I wanted to work for myself. I wanted to be my own boss. And last year, 2025, was my 10-year anniversary of being self-employed full-time.
Wow. 10 years.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Same. How did you say? Same. I think the pivotal moment was when you said, what am I going to do about it? And I think that's a question that a lot of us don't ask ourselves because we get so much into the complaining and being complacent and getting used to that constant, the salary coming in because we're used to that. But really asking yourself, what am I going to do about it? And that is a multi-layered question.
But you have to plan. And you have to ask yourself that question.
Yes.
And in my case, I did. I retired and I set a plan in place. I knew what I wanted to do. And I got pushed into something. Which pushed off a cliff, which kind of started me to get into what I wanted to do.
Yes.
And I was pushed off that cliff.
Don't tell me.
No, but I was pushed off the cliff and I met these 2 beautiful women.
Yeah.
And Lord have mercy, it was a beautiful landing.
Yes,
I landed on my feet. And so what she has done, we're aspiring to do.
Absolutely.
And that's why we're speaking to you today, because you can do it too. And we're not telling you to quit your job, but you have to plan it.
We're not.
And those things that you want to do and those jobs, those ideas that you have, we tell you to move forth on them. We're doing that. I came in doing it blind.
Well, I did. I had a whole 2-year plan. So let me tell y'all a little bit about the plan.
Get your pens and your paper out.
Get your pen and
This note-taking time. Okay?
Yes, it is.
So for me, as a project manager, everything is a project, right? So I treated this as a project as well, right? Because I needed an exit strategy. What does that look like for me and my family? Because it wasn't just impacting me. I had a whole husband and 3 whole kids and a dog, so what does that transition look like for our family, So I built out a 2-year plan. I had to take a look at finances. I had to take a look at my salary. I was making a good salary. So am I going to try to match that salary within this 2 years, or is there a number that I have in mind that I'm willing to walk away with, right? You have to think about your medical benefits,
right?
Medical, dental, right. All of those insurances. And then take a look at, the expenses that you have that you don't necessarily need, because I was going to Starbucks every day. I was eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner, either somewhere or the cafeteria. You can eliminate some of those things. One of the main things that a lot of people don't look at, I'll say 2 of the main things: your cell phone plan and that cable plan. Y'all don't even watch half them channels. What you paying for them channels for? So take a look at those things, because you can save so much money just taking a look at the stuff, those subscriptions that you're paying for on a regular basis that you don't even use.
That automatic draft.
Yeah. And
it's important.
It's very important. So think about, based on the time frame that your exit strategy is, how much money you can save within that time frame. Just taking a look at all those extra charges on that cell phone bill. You don't even use half that stuff. Most of y'all just talk and text, all that other stuff. Y'all don't need to answer the phone. You can get rid of those things. Take a look at some of your extracurricular activities. Maybe you go out every weekend. Maybe you can change that to 1 or 2 weekends a month. That'll save you some money there. So just some basic things that you don't typically think about when you're thinking about going into business for yourself and what that looks like from a financial plan. And another thing for me, I got cold feet for just a little while. So during my transition, my oldest son was getting ready to go to college. So that year, I had planned on leaving in August, because I always took off the first week of school. As long as my kids had been in school, I always took off the first week of school to kind of hang out with them and then to get a break for myself from the summer.
Right.
So I was going to leave that August so that way I could just be free with them to do whatever. But because he was going to college that year, he was on a partial scholarship, but I still had to pay money's out for, the rest of his tuition. So what does that look like? I didn't know what that looked like. So I'm like, okay, I don't want to, leave my corporate, career, and now I'm struggling trying to pay.
With tuition.
Yeah.
Right.
I did all these savings in the background, but now I have this college tuition that I have to account for.
Mhm.
So what does that look like? So I changed it from August to December to give me a little leeway so I can see what that felt like financially, right? So I didn't cancel the plan. I just delayed the plan. So I left that year, December 28th, 2015. Actually, I didn't really work the month of December because I had time. I was really done in November. On the books, I was done in December. And you just celebrated my 10-year anniversary.
Congratulations. That is
Thank you.
phenomenal. I love that. And that's so encouraging and inspiring. And so, LaToya, is that you tweak the plan.
Mhm.
And that's something that I would tell my clients. Like we write things down and we set a plan in place, and then we get so stressed out about trying to stick to that thing to the letter. But you have to understand it's your plan. You orchestrated it. You have all the authority and the power to change it when necessary. And so you made a change to, accommodate what something new that you had to do, so that you have the authority to just tweak your plan. It's okay. It's
But
your plan.
also, if you need help, don't be afraid to ask someone for help.
That's a big
If you need help, because I asked for help with some things, and now I've made some changes, and even Boss Lady here has helped me make some changes, and I'm not spending like I used to. And even my sister here, we talk and we've made some changes. So everything you hear here is important,
We end it together.
We
y'all.
are, and
I promise you.
we work good together, and I've learned so much from both of them, business-wise, okay? And I've made a plan, and I just decided this week that my plan to exit my job August of 2027 has been extended. And why? Because I looked at the full picture, and I know why I'm extending it, and it's going to benefit me to extend it. So I'm going to do it. And I don't have to explain why, but it will benefit me. Take notes, listen to what we're telling you, and we'll be right back.
See you on the other side.
See you on the other side.
Hey, sis. Sister. You're the one. Sister. The one I call you. Sister. No matter when life takes us through, 'cause you're always gonna be my simply sister. You are my sister, and I love you, my simply sister. You are my sister, and I love you. Oh, my sister, and I love you, my simply sister.
Welcome back to the Simpli Sisters Podcast, where we have the one and only CEO partner, LaToya Frazier, with us today. We want to thank you for watching this episode. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing with someone that you want to come in on this journey with you. We want to offer you a sense of community. Go into the link in our description and sign up for the Simpli Circle, baby. When I tell you, there is so much more in store for Simpli Sisters Podcast and our Simpli Circle family. So we're going to come back in on the discussion about breaking barriers. And we're talking to LaToya Frazier because she has done just that. She just recently celebrated 10 years being her own boss, being the CEO partner and running your own company.
Thank you.
I love that. So one of the things we're going to talk about is, as we venture out and go into these different spaces, and we're excited about being an entrepreneur, but I think there's some tentacles that come along with that that we're not prepared for. Even like socially, how things are very different when you're an entrepreneur and you're doing this on your own. So socially, LaToya, what did that look like for you? when you started being your own boss and things were just a little bit different between the corporate world and running your own firm?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things when I was in corporate, I worked 100% remote, but I still had team members that I met with every day and, business partners and things like that. So when I went out on my own, I didn't have that per se. So sometimes you have to build those communities for yourself. You have to get out into your communities, whether it's local or online, and establish those relationships, whether it's joining organizations like the Chamber of Commerce. There's so many different meetup organizations now. The first services that I was offering was website development. So there was a organization from meetup.com where was other website developers where they would get together and kind of, talk about different, knowledge transfers. And then I started speaking and teaching different things specific to website development, right? So just getting out of the house and getting, in front of others, either like-minded or whether you're trying to gain or learn other skills that's pertinent to your area of expertise.
Because you got to get out and meet the perfect stranger.
You do.
You really do.
You do.
And I'm an introvert, y'all, so y'all may not know that about me. So sometimes I have to prepare my mind to go out and be around other
people. She got to get prepared for the people. Okay,
You would never know that.
No, you wouldn't, because she prepares.
She's prepared. Yeah. Now I'm an introvert, so I have to shake in my boots a little bit. Fear kicks in, and then the Lord says, "Hey, you." So. But anyway, that's good to know. That's good to know. But also, we're talking about breaking those barriers. A little spiritual. Spirituality comes in there because you just can't just jump out there. You have to pray.
Yes.
You have to have the Lord behind you when you do this, the divine, because that's where your strength comes from. And if you don't have that behind you, I hate to tell you, but you might just stay stagnant. And when the Lord guides you, you move forward, especially if you're obedient and he's showing you things and leading you places and in different spaces, then what you're trying to accomplish happens for you. And he puts those people in front of you, even finances. You'll say, "Hey, I don't have the money for this or that." All of a sudden, that is right there for you. So that your spiritual side is as important in your move forward in any business that you start. Also, and we'll bring this up, you're emotional. Gayl, you want to talk about that a little bit?
Barriers are compounded in so many different ways, because some of it is the belief that we don't have in ourselves. It is the fear that others may have said to us, "Oh, no, you're not going to try to do that. Well, so-and-so did that and it didn't work out." We have to really you have to break barriers, and you need to put up barriers, because the boundaries will protect your mental psyche, because it takes a special kind of person. Entrepreneurship is not for the faint of heart. I mean, you have really got to be dedicated to it, and wavering is not an option when you're going to be consistent and you're going to be committed to what it is you're doing. Emotionally, we have to really get outside of the noise and laser focusing on, like Tammy mentioned, having that spiritual connection, praying for guidance so you can have the strength to create this thing. And then also you really want to cognitively make a decision that no matter what I face, I am still going to push through and I won't, and if I don't quit, I don't have to start over. I'm going to keep going. You'll hear things in the background. Again, you got to shut out the noise. Mentally prepare yourself, and that's putting yourself first, because you don't need to understand who you are as an entrepreneur. And some things you find out along the way. It's not laid out plain and simple for you when you make a decision. I'm going to run my business. Okay, but do you know who you are as a business person? You find out a lot about yourself. As you begin to do business, you become exposed to different people. You get in different environments. You're exposed to people who act different in certain environments. So you have to be able to understand, how do you maneuver? How do you adapt and adjust as you're learning who you are as an entrepreneur?
So that leads us into...
Well, before you go on, I want to piggyback on what Gayl said. So there's 3 points that I want to make based off of what you said, Gayl. So one, you will have naysayers, right? You're going to have naysayers. So some of the people that I thought that would support me in terms of encouraging me to to move forward in my dream, my passion, or whatever it was that the Lord had given me to do. Those were some of the people that were, questioning, well, why would you leave your good paying corporate career to go do X, Y, and Z? Well, your company is laying off. Why don't you wait until you get a severance package? Well, what? I'm like, well, child, I've been through about 8 restructures already. They ain't gave me none yet, so I have to create my own severance package.
There you go.
And then I know that I had been praying on what the Lord had given me on what I was supposed to do. So I'm not going to listen to Sally Joe.
Right.
And the Lord had already given me this, and He had already given me the plan, and I could see it. I could see the visions. So those are things I want to piggyback off of. You will have naysayers.
Yes.
You still have to, follow the plan. And continue to pray. And sometimes you have to sit still to make sure that you're hearing what it is that the Lord is depositing to you.
No, that's part of what I was going to say. So, thank you. Yeah. And so that leads us into breaking awareness. And that's part of it. Awareness. Yeah. Awareness comes day after doggone day. And your awareness must do this because you don't know everything.
Right.
You don't know everything.
You don't.
And you have to be able to hear the Lord. You have to be able to hear the divine.
Yes.
You have to be able to push those naysayers out. Awareness of who is who. Okay. Who can help you, who can't. And let me tell you something. God will move those people out.
He will.
He will move those people out. So your awareness of what you're doing, what God is telling you to do is so important.
Yeah. And one of the things I want to say about awareness, when it comes to entrepreneurship and coaching and consulting, one of the things, I won't say regrets, but one of the things I wish I had done sooner was to get a coach, to get a business coach, someone that has already gone where I was trying to go, right? That could coach me and lessen my learning curve sooner, right? So I waited thinking, I can't afford to get a coach, And I couldn't afford not to have a coach, right? Wow. Because I sought out I actually had several coaches at one time, but that's the story for another day. But, my initial coach was someone that had been in the online space that was already doing what I was trying to do and that was successful at it. So what did you do, that could help catapult me to the next level? So when it comes to coaching and consulting, you have to have a budget for all things business. And that should be one of the top things that's on your radar. Right. And get a coach that's in your price range, right? You don't want to go out here and get one of these coaches. You can't even afford it because you have made any money in your business. Right. And get someone that's going to help you be able to make money in your business so that way you can continue to do your business. You can continue to pay for your coaching. Right. And you're learning from their mistakes. Wow. So they've already gone through some of the things that you may face in your business. Then another coach that I got was someone that had the same background. Her background was also in project management. Right. She went out on maternity leave and came back. And project management back then, and even more so now, it's a male-dominant field. It's a male-dominant field. So when she came back from maternity leave, she felt a certain type of way because now, she wasn't getting the projects that she was getting before she left. So she created, her side hustle as a business, and she was coaching other people to do the same thing. So you have to find not just any coach, not just somebody out there just in general, but you have to do your research, do your due diligence, and find someone based on what you're looking for, what you're looking to accomplish in your business. Who is that person that can help get you there faster?
Yeah. And, I don't want us to lose sight of, even though we get inspired and, we're seeking direction from God on what it is that we're supposed to be doing, don't lose sight that we are a forever student. We are always going to be in a space where we can be learning from other people. There is a sense of community, like LaToya mentioned, joining the commerces, joining these, professional growth-minded groups that have resources and tools and opportunities for you to network. And networking is just not getting together, talking, sipping and passing around business cards. Networking is absorbing what you can from people that you've never met before. Stop moving around in the same rooms. You don't want to keep moving in that little pond with all those fish because that pond get a little murky. You understand? Y'all know what happens in there. Okay, you know what's floating around in there. So that is not, your space. Utilize the environment while it's a benefit to you. And don't be afraid to move on and go into the next thing. Be in the position to be a forever student. always learning, taking in information.
Right.
And then don't just take in the information. Now it's going to be up to you to implement it. What do you do with it? A coach can help you with that. I am a certified master life coach. I went in and got my certification as a cognitive behavior coach. I have a coach. I have a coach that helps me with the momentum of my coaching platforms. And then I have a business coach because there's so much that I don't know. And I've been in business 18, almost 20 years, 18
Wow.
years. I started my business and I was forced to do it. And y'all have heard the story from my brother made me do it. But, it's been almost 2008 will be 20
Wow.
years. And I still seek knowledge and I still learn so much from these ladies. So anywhere that you are, any environment that you're in the position to learn something. Don't be afraid to learn. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Ask questions because you don't know what you don't know. And what you don't know can't hurt you and your business.
But that leads you into talking about the test of resilience.
Yes.
Right there
Yes.
is where you find out whether you're going to sink or swim. You're going to fall back in that quicksand.
Yeah.
You're going to be pulled out because going into business is not easy. And I'm
not.
learning now. I'm newbie. I just stepped out there and
It can be scary.
it is scary.
Getting out of that comfort, getting
Out of my comfort
the
zone.
comfort
Right. 'Cause
zone.
I'm an introvert. And now I'm trying to come out of it. And it's taking some pulling. And I'm going to do it, and I'm doing it.
We're so proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
but being an introvert, I mean, that's just part of who we are. For those of us that are introverts,
Right.
it doesn't stop anything.
Stop anything.
Right.
It doesn't stop anything.
Right.
So, and I'm just so happy that Tammy has stepped out there and she's doing the damn thing.
You
You're
wouldn't
so
even
proud of
know. Really wouldn't know how reluctant, or I don't know if timid is the right word, or maybe reluctant is the proper verbiage, but the way she has come out and sharing her knowledge and her experience. And I know if y'all been on her page and following Simply Tammy on social media platforms, she is out here dropping the gems, and it's up to us to pick them up. She is coming full-fledged, full speed ahead, coming forward. Her book is about to come out, A Woman's Guide to Living the Fight Up. If you are not on the list, get on the list.
Listen, she'd be surprising herself. She'll read something she did, and she'd be like, "Ooh, did I write that?" Yes, ma'am. You did.
Yes, you
She's
did.
like, "Ooh, that's good."
I said and did.
I love it.
Yeah.
Simply Tammy.
Yeah, it's important, ladies. And we want to leave you with this thought. And we are doing all of this to inspire you.
Yeah.
But also, this is what we want to leave with you lastly, because we're going to get ready to get out of here. And I hope that what we've shared with you today, you've learned a lot, because I really learned a lot today. You want to leave a legacy behind you.
Right.
Okay. We have daughters. We have sons. We want to leave a legacy behind us, not just financial legacy, but we want to leave a legacy where our children kind of maybe follow in our steps, or, our books, share with our grandkids, our great grandkids, our businesses. Maybe we pass them on to our children. So this is why we do this. This is so important. So again, thank you for watching Simpli Sisters Podcast. Again, we thank CEO partner, boss.
Our boss lady. She keeps it all together. And I know sometimes, we need a little supervision.
Y'all listen, y'all. Y'all listen. They're great.
But we do.
Trying to listen. I'm always in trouble.
I'm still in Act Right training. Anyway, we are so glad that you came to join us to see the CEO partner, LaToya Frazier. Listen, follow her on social media. Follow Simply Tammy. Please grab the book. You can also follow me, Gayl Benson, on Facebook, Coach Gayl Benson on Instagram, Simply Tammy on Instagram, and Simply Tammy on Facebook. LaToya Frazier on Facebook, and LaToya Online.
LaToya Online.
On Instagram. Go to the description. There's links in there where you can meet us outside of the tube, baby. Outside of the podcast, you can go in and follow us on our Facebook group. Sign up for the Simply Circle family. We have a lot coming up. But until then, we will see you next week for more conversations for the soul, because there is so much to talk about. Thank you for being here.
Make it happen beautifully.
Bye.
Bye.